Hi Leo, welcome back to Peaceful Oracle. This is your November 2021 general reading. So I'm doing this reading a little bit differently from how I have done my previous readings. I'm just doing a different spread. It's a little bit more just kind of freestyle, it's sort of turning into a spread in itself, but I'm just wanting to kind of see what cards come out and go with that. And I'm also changing up the tarot deck that I'm using as well. I'm going back to the Good Tarot for you, Leo. I kind of felt like this was the deck that wanted to be used for your reading. So here we are. So let's see what we have coming up for you here in the month of November. What do we have coming up for Leo in the month of November? 10 of Earth. Beautiful. Okay, so we have some focusing on our financial stability. Wow. Okay. So it kind of feels like there's some kind of important work that you're focusing on that has the potential for a lot of success. I almost feel like there might be something that has already brought in quite a bit of success. So some of you are, I'm seeing work playing a really huge role with the 10 of air. 10 of earth, and then the king of air is someone who comes in who is very, what's the word I'm looking for? The energy that I'm sensing here is really good businessman. It kind of feels like this is someone who owns their own business or starting their own business. And it's something that has the potential for a lot of success or has already brought in a lot of success. What else do we need to know about the 10 of earth and king of air here for Leo? For November. Okay, so I'm hearing there might be some growth and expansion within a business. I'm not seeing other areas of work. I'm seeing specifically for those of you who own your own businesses or who have started on a new business. And it feels like a business that is a big corporation or quite a big project where you have maybe multiple employees or you have some business partners that you work with. So a big project. Okay. So I'm seeing that there's some growth and expansion. So I'm also seeing with the king of air that you may be required to use some negotiating skills this month. So some of you may be, having to make some business deals, signing contracts is what I'm seeing. So some of you might have to do that. But it's something that will bring in a lot of financial success, abundance, prosperity, long-term security is what I'm hearing. So kind of feels like there's something big on the table this month that you are having to, that's where all the focus is going here. Okay. 10 of air and temptation here. So what I'm hearing is that it may be something that is quite a big, something that might have caused a lot of stress, something that has really interesting. So the 10 of air is usually the card of ending. So something of a ending of a mental conflict is what I'm hearing. Okay, so there might be something that has been prolonged for a long time. So maybe in the month of November, there's something that's coming to a close. There's some big project or some kind of deal or some kind of something that's coming to a close that has been ongoing for a long time. Something that has just caused a lot of stress, a lot of worry, sleepless nights. Almost like you can't even think about anything else but this one thing is what I'm seeing. And I see that it's coming to an end this month here. And I'm seeing with the temptation card, what I heard was, I'm hearing to take care of yourself because the temptation card is pointing me to the, the coping mechanisms of, when we're dealing with stress, not coping with unhealthy choices is what I'm seeing. So maybe a bit, not necessarily, I'm not seeing addiction, but I'm seeing just kind of not, if we're feeling stressed, kind of resorting to maybe some unhealthy habits like emotional eating or, not taking care of our health or not sleeping properly or just engaging in unhealthy, almost like a numbing out is what I'm seeing. So there may be some kind of temptation towards that, to numb out, to disconnect, to disengage from something. So I'm hearing that may be something that comes up here. But this could also be, what I'm also hearing is that this could be the end of that as well. Oh, interesting. Okay, so what they're telling me also is that this could also be the end of unhealthy coping mechanisms. Wow, so some of you could be really healing from that, like coming out of that. Those kinds of like resorting to, like when we're stressed out or not feeling something is overwhelming, that if in the past, if we have coped with it in an unhealthy way, that might be an ending here. So maybe an ending to some kind of attachment or addiction as well. But it has something to do with our prosperity and financial stability here. Okay, let's keep going here. What else do we have coming up for Leo, the month of November? Five of Air. Okay, so Five of Air is a card of mental conflict. Rising above the mental conflict. I feel like this month, Leo, you may be doing a lot of, wow, okay. And then the Eight of Air. Okay, so really kind of feels like the mental sphere, this our headspace, is going to play a really big role for you this month. So we have the Eight of Air as well. So feeling kind of trapped, feeling like there's not a way out. Interesting. Okay, Five of Air. What do we need to know about the Five of Air and the Eight of Air? Maybe there's, I feel like there might be some of you that are around someone that's toxic, or you're having to deal with some kind of toxic situation, or there might be just something that has really caused you to feel stuck. Like you can't move, you're stuck somewhere. What do we need to know about the Five of Air and Eight of Air for Leo? Love, okay. So maybe some of you are dealing with some relationship dynamic where you're kind of feeling like you're stuck in a relationship dynamic here. Interesting. What else do we need to know? I'm kind of sensing that there's like this need for you to kind of, it's almost like you're being presented with something that you might have been avoiding for a while. Some kind of truth, or some kind of almost like a pink elephant in the room that's just kind of been there for a while. And then this month, there's almost this space, or, an opportunity to finally kind of look at something that has really been, that it needs to be acknowledged. Something needs to be acknowledged within a relationship. Something needs to be acknowledged within some kind of dynamic. So something that might be off balance. Yeah, because it kind of feels like there's something here that might have been just, or it could also be, there could also be something here about what I'm seeing, like patterns in relationships. So for some of you, it might not even necessarily be like you're in a relationship. For some of you, it could be where you're in a relationship and we have some kind of mental conflict, or feeling restricted and confined. But I feel like there's something here about taking a look at ourselves and looking at the patterns, or what we tend to be attracted to in relationships in general. So I feel like there's some kind of illumination or light being shined on, maybe some kind of patterns that we have in relationships. And I feel like those patterns are coming to light so we can heal them, so we can take a look at them and change the trajectory of how we approach relationships, how we approach love. Yeah, that kind of feels like that seems to be playing a bigger role. So there's some inner work here in terms of how we're relating to love, relationships, what kind of roles we play, or what kind of relationships we tend to get into. Like, even if it looks great in the beginning, it's almost like at the end, it always turns into this one pattern, or the person that we end up with always has this one trait. So it's almost as if this month we're kind of being given an opportunity to look at that and figure out how we can rewrite that story, or rewrite that programming, or heal some kind of underlying wound so it doesn't repeat. What I'm seeing. Okay, interesting. What else do we need to know about the Five of Air, Eight of Air, and love for Leo for November? Wow, my goodness. Okay, 7 of air. Interesting. It really feels like some of you might have dealt with someone or are dealing with someone who is just really causing quite a bit of stress, because the 7 of air also, oh my goodness. So yeah, 7 of air is, sometimes it can be like stealing or being very dishonest can be. It could also be just sometimes it could come up as strategy, in the sense that not really revealing your cards, like kind of being a little bit tricky, is a 7 of air. Not allowing people in, not being a bit deceiving is kind of that energy. And then the 5 of air is often, kind of being around chaos or conflict, or people who kind of want to impose in our boundaries, or try to kind of knock us off our balance. So someone taking more than their share. And then the 8 of air is feeling trapped and stuck, which is, and it's all in the mental sphere. So it's really kind of feels like there's something up in the mind, like a lot of worries and a lot of, almost like a lot of pressure up in the headspace here. 10 of water. Interesting. We have a lot of, cards are interesting. Okay. So 10 of water is, so we have the 10 of pentacles and the 10 of water, which is often, that's stability within a relationship, within our life and longevity. And then 10 of water is happiness and joy, and having like an feeling overjoyed, and like we're full of everything that we want. So we have that abundance coming in for us. Everything kind of working out. This is really interesting because you have like such dual energies here. 2 of water, okay, and then the Chariot. Okay, so some of you could be meeting someone new. So maybe this energy is from the past, or this is something that's kind of being put behind you almost. And maybe as we move in later into the month of November, as you get into possibly the second half of the month, that there may be some kind of like a renewal is what I'm seeing. There may be a renewal in a relationship. So there might be some kind of relationship dynamic that needs to get sorted through. There may be some things I'm kind of feeling like something that needs to be dealt with is what I'm seeing. So maybe there are some issues that, a couple needs to work through, or a partnership needs to work through in order to get to this 10 of water and 2 of water cups. So I kind of feel like you might be going through some kind of renewal process in November, Leo, within your relationship. And for others of you, it could also be choosing to, walk away from a toxic relationship, and then giving yourself an opportunity to kind of move into a space where you have a chance to renew your love life, almost like kind of wanting to start over. So there's this energy there, because the 2 of water and the 10 of water are really good cards, especially when it comes to relationships and love. That's, emotional fulfillment and happiness. And then the 2 of water is, coming together with someone who is very much like our equal. So there's a very, almost like a divine partnership or relationship there, where it mirrors us really well and we work really well together, which gives this sense of completion. And then the Chariot card, which is movement and moving forward. So it almost kind of feels like there's something that needs to be cleared in terms of some kind of mental conflict or feeling stuck. And I kind of feel like there's some inner work that's happening here to kind of overcome, so we can kind of embrace some relationships that may be coming in the future. I feel like there's something coming in the future that feels like a renewal, or you may meet someone who really fits a more evolved level of partnerships, if that makes sense. So if we're and that's why I kind of felt here with the 10 of air and temptation, where there's some kind of patterns that maybe we tend to get attracted to, or something that we have a tendency to do. And I kind of feel like there's some of that programming or some of those patterns that we're healing. And so that is going to open the door for us to step into a new, like a new reality, you know, like those patterns are ready to be put down is what I'm seeing. So it kind of feels like you're working through some residual stuff so it can be released, so you can kind of embrace a new beginning here. So let's see how the end of the month goes here. What do we have coming up for the end of the month for November for Leo for last week? Queen of Earth, beautiful. Okay, so I kind of feel like the Queen of Earth, I heard the word self-care. So this may be also a renewal in a relationship with yourself as well, Leo. You may be taking some time off. You may be kind of like tackling some kind of toxic energy or something that really needs to be dealt with. And then kind of moving forward into wanting a fresh new beginning. Some of you may also be moving, like physically moving somewhere and going somewhere else. But the Queen of Earth, I feel, is having a focus on being able to take care of yourself in all aspects, you know, physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, being able to hold your own or stand, you know, being able to stay empowered in yourself and really know how to nurture and care for yourself, know how to tend to your garden, so you can attract better. And I kind of feel like you may be having some new beginnings with a new relationship. I kind of feel like you have a new relationship coming in for you towards the end of the month, and maybe that energy will kind of spill over into December. And I feel like something will really blossom in 2022. So I kind of feel like you're starting off the month with a little bit more of the heavier energies, where you're kind of still working through things, or maybe some things that come to the surface, or some truths that you're learning, or you may even notice the reality or the truth about a person in your life. And so there may be some kind of things, some kind of energies that you're working through, and kind of getting yourself unstuck from, is what I'm seeing. And then as you're moving into the next half of the month, I see you kind of stepping into a better place emotionally, because there's the drastic change between the first half of the month and the second half of the month for you, Leo. I see the first half of the month being maybe a bit more stressful and having to confront or face some things that maybe you didn't want to look at for a while. And then the second half of the month feels a lot more lighter and refreshed. So you're really going through some kind of almost like a purification or detoxing phase here. But I really like this Queen of Earth and Messenger of Water here, because I feel like you're opening yourself up for some new opportunities in relationships. I feel like you're kind of making this space for some new things to come into your life, which I think is really beautiful. I like that for you. This is really nice. Okay, and then we have the King of Fire and the Seven of Earth. So so there may be someone that comes in that's really passionate. Someone that kind of a messenger of water is usually like an energy it's the beginning. It's like a love offer. And it's not, and I'm not, sometimes it could be someone younger, but that's not what I'm sensing. I'm kind of just sensing a new beginning in terms of forming new relationships with other people. And I like how we have the King of Fire here, you know, because there's someone that may come in that has this passionate energy, and they kind of come in to reflect this new version of you, actually. And I kind of feel like it may feel refreshing, you know, it may feel like it's different from what you would normally, from your past, you know, from what you have been or who you have been with from the past. So something different. And with the Seven of Earth, I kind of feel like you might take your time in thinking about it. You know, Seven of Earth is often the card of, you know, really analyzing, what do I want to invest in? So I don't see you kind of like jumping into a new relationship right away. I kind of seeing you more focused on yourself and on your stability and kind of building your business or building your career and making sure that you are centered with yourself and balanced. And if other people kind of come into your space, then it's almost as if you're going to take your time with it, is what I'm seeing. I'm not really seeing that you're going to spend too much time really investing too much energy into something new. It's almost kind of like you're letting it be what it is and not really needing to force it to be anything else here. Let me pick one more for the Chariot here. I feel like I need to do one more here. What else do we need to know about the 10 of water, the 2 of water, and the Chariot? Page of Earth, beautiful. Yeah. So again, it's kind of like cultivating and nurturing something. That's the Page of Earth. It's exploring new territories. Some of you really may be moving somewhere. I feel like you're going to be moving somewhere, and it's almost like long overdue. I'm kind of sensing that. So with the 8 of Air is feeling like we're stuck. But I kind of feel like you're not as stuck as you think you are. I think that this is more of a fear. And this could also be, what I'm also hearing with the 7 of Air is you might also be taking into consideration a lot of other people's opinions. You know, you're worried about what will people think, or how will they react when I do this, or if I kind of walk away from something, or if I, make some kind of radical change. How will other people respond? What will they say? And so that may be kind of a bit overwhelming of a thought to have, or it may be something that you need some time to kind of process that experience, almost like anticipating, like, okay, well, if I kind of move in a different direction to kind of get myself unstuck from a situation, then I'm going to have to really deal with all these other people that have something to say about it. So I kind of feel like you're going to take some time to really think about things and to sort through some kind of confusion or mental conflict in your mind. But at the end of the day, I really feel like you're going to get yourself to a place where you're going to detach from everybody else's opinions and what everybody else wants for you. And you're going to go forward in doing what's right for you and what feels right for you and your happiness. I can feel the anxiety around it. I can feel that there's anxiousness around it. But I think that what I'm seeing is that you're just going to kind of take it day by day and allow yourself to really let that energy sink in. Now, I am hearing that even though this is a monthly reading, this energy may take longer. So it's kind of like, but this is kind of like almost the order of how things I see happening for you, Leo. So it could be that, in the beginning, you're kind of going through this phase of, kind of having almost like, really facing some kind of truth or seeing something for really what it is and wanting to make a change. And I really kind of feel like you're trying to sort through things out with your mind, you're analyzing your way through it and you're trying to be practical and logical and fair is what I'm hearing. You're trying to be fair, and you're not wanting to act on impulse. Even though you might want to, it's like you're being very careful with not acting on impulse, but there's a lot kind of, I think, coming to the surface for you. And so then as you kind of sort through this energy and as this energy settles, I'm kind of seeing that the energy will settle on its own. I feel like you'll find that as the month progresses, that just the energy around you and the energy in the whole situation of what you're dealing with will start to settle on its own, where you find that you come into a better place of clarity, or you find that kind of some path opens up for you where you see it as an opportunity to kind of start anew and like have a new beginning for yourself. With the Two of Water, I'm also kind of seeing for some of you who are not necessarily interested in relationships, I'm seeing actually that you may find that you are getting to know yourself better, actually. That you may start forming like a deeper bond or relationship with yourself. And what that will do is it will actually open you up to some new creative ideas is what I'm seeing. And those new creative ideas could also translate into a business idea, a new line of work that makes you really happy. And I'm also seeing for some of you where you might be able to meet new people that really kind of resonate with you on that level. And then it'll also kind of help you to shift and change your life in a direction that you are more happy with, So if you kind of feel like it's kind of going in right now, if it's going in a direction that you weren't really liking, or it's not resonating or fitting with you anymore, and kind of feel like you're shifting into a more happier space. And this may actually require physical movement for you as well. And again, I'm sensing anxiety around that. So that may be something that kind of scares you a bit, maybe not. But it kind of feel like just the idea of the change is kind of like exciting but scary at the same time. So what I'm hearing is just give yourself some time to just process the idea or the possibility of that. So then by the time something does come about, it's almost like you've already primed yourself for some shift to happen or some change to happen. And I kind of feel like that's the place that you're in right now, is that you're anticipating some kind of change, or you're anticipating this forward movement. And that's going to just kind of allowing yourself to sit with it and let the process happen on its own is going to, and I'm hearing that things are going to work out better than you think they are. So don't imagine the worst case scenario. Oh, okay. That's what I'm hearing. They're saying don't imagine the worst case scenario. So how they're asking, my guides are wanting me to communicate that, like, if you're kind of scared about some kind of outcome, it's almost like shift your mindset to what would be the ideal situation. Like if you could paint the ideal situation of how you want something to turn out, what would you want it to be? And put your energy towards it happening in that way, rather than like this worst case scenario. So, if there's some kind of decision you want to make, like imagine everyone actually surprisingly acting very supportive, and encouraging you, rather than kind of trying to, it may not happen that way, but just kind of, if we put our energy towards that, it eases up on the anxiety is what I'm hearing. So as we kind of go into, once we kind of, you go through some shift and change that will come up for you here in the future, I'm seeing that, there's going to be some new territories or a new, it could just be like a new line of work even, but it kind of feels like there's a new beginning here in terms of your physical world is what I'm seeing. So I'm really seeing that you're moving somewhere else, and you may be, like exploring the area. I see you kind of like trying new things, and it'll just feel really good. It'll kind of just broaden your horizons, and it'll feel like this fresh new start. So you have that fresh new start coming up for you. Yeah. And then there's also, and I really kind of seeing you really being in your happy place, almost with the Queen of Earth here. Feels like you'll kind of go to a place, or you'll be in a place where you really feel like you can nurture and grow your life from there, because maybe from where you were, it's like kind of over, there's something here that's coming to a full close. And so there's no energy left there for you to be able to grow and expand. So there's something here that's definitely ending, even though we don't have the Tower card, because I don't think that this is like this big Tower moment. It kind of feels like almost like a gradual, slow change for you. And it'll kind of just happen incrementally as you keep going. And then the Queen of Earth, it's almost like you're going to be moving into a space where you have more space to kind of like be yourself, and to really enjoy your own company, and to feel like you can Like you can be authentic in the way you want to live your life is what I'm seeing. Like wanting to express yourself in your own way without having to really explain yourself to anybody, or maybe seeking another person's permission if something is okay or not, or kind of adjusting ourselves to fit into another person's life. So I'm kind of seeing this energy of independence here with the Queen of Earth. And what that will also do is for you to open up doors for other people to kind of look at you. With the Messenger of Water here, I'm also seeing that there may be some people that come to you in admiration is what I'm seeing. So some people may come to you and kind of be like, wow, how did you do that? Or teach me how to do that. Or I so admire you and these things that you did for yourself. So I kind of feel like there's that energy that's coming in here for you. There's some kind of communication of admiration that's coming towards you. But then you also have the King of Fire here. So there may be someone special that comes into your life that brings a lot of passion and brings a lot of enthusiasm. And I kind of feel like there may be something here where you guys hit it off. But it could also be just, but I do see you kind of taking your time with it. Like, I don't really see you really jumping into anything, because it's like you just found this sense of independence and freedom, and you're not really wanting to give that up right now. Not that you have to in a relationship, but sometimes that happens. And then this card just fell out. It's a Fortune's Wheel. So things are definitely shifting for you, major change and major completions as well. So you're definitely going through a major ending here. So very cool. Let's look into your challenge position here. So what is Leo being challenged with in the month of November 2021? What is Leo being challenged with in the month of November 2021? Patience. Yeah. I think we're all being challenged with this, to be completely honest. So you're not alone in this, Leo. I think we're all being challenged with patience. So the thing that I can kind of pick up on about this is that things are going to move in the direction that you want them to move in, but it just takes time because, one, divine timing, and then two, there's a lot of moving pieces, I mean, it's almost like as if, it's weird how sometimes this happens, because I think sometimes when we have this moment of awakening, or we have like this epiphany, we want radical change like for tomorrow, because we see it now. Like we see the truth. We see how things are, like the truth of a situation. And it's almost like once we see the truth, we know that obviously this is not going to work, right? But it's almost as if what they're telling me is that things that happen on the spiritual realm happen a lot quicker than how they happen on the 3D realm. So it's like we have to wait for the 3D realm to kind of catch up to the energy of what we've already become aware of, So it takes time. And that's why sometimes I think for a lot of us, it's almost as if maybe in October or September, these last few months, or even this year, or last 2 years, it's like there's been this major transformation and shedding and clearing, and a lot of moments of awakening, a lot of moments of epiphanies that everyone's having here. And what's happening is that it's like what we're aware of on a spiritual level is very different from what's happening in our 3D level. And it's almost as if as the time goes, the dissonance between the two is growing. So it's almost like it's becoming really uncomfortable, where a lot of us like can't even sit in our seats. Like we need to leave, we need to go, because it's just becoming, we just know that like we need to shift and move and go. But then at the same time, we have some like obligations and things that need to kind of move a little bit slower in the real world. So we're needing to kind of balance the two. So you're not alone there, Leo. I mean, patience seems to be the code word for November, especially. But the change is coming. But just know that that's why it's uncomfortable. It's because what we know to be true and what our current reality is sometimes is so radically different from each other that it's requiring us to kind of like have some patience and to understand that, that it's not that it's not going to happen, but it's just we got to wait for the 3D to kind of catch up to what we already know intuitively. So. Ooh. Oh, and I love that. Yeah. Voyage. I really feel like you're moving. And I really feel like you're going somewhere. I dropped 2 cards, so let me just grab those real quick. And then we have action, and then we have miracles. Beautiful. I love that. So what I'm hearing is that you don't have to stress too much about how something is going to happen, because I think that sometimes when we feel like we want to manifest something, that we want to put a lot of like effort towards it. We're like trying to control the whole thing. And what I'm hearing with action and miracles is that, allow, don't resist too much the changes, but also don't try to control everything that's happening at the same time. Again, it's like we intuitively know in our soul that something is changing and something is coming. And I think it's just hard for us to just sit there and let it happen rather than us trying to have our hands in it. And so this is also a test in our patience in that area as well. There is a travel opportunity coming up for you, definitely. I see it so clearly that a lot of you are moving. And it's almost, I'm hearing like when the time is right, you'll know. And that's when you will take action towards it. But the opportunity will be presented to you, and it'll be something that's very obvious and very clear. And you'll feel it, you'll know it. So you can trust yourself there. You can trust when the time is right. You'll just feel it. You'll know if it feels off, feels weird, feels uncomfortable, then it's probably not the right time yet, So just listen to those listen to those intuitive hits that you get, because that's going to be important. Don't force something before it's time, because then it'll kind of like throw off how things need to happen in the way they need to happen. So it's going to be important to kind of trust that timing and just keep working on whatever you can have some sense of centeredness and groundedness with. Just put your focus on that and allow the energies to shift on their own. So a little bit of surrender and a little bit of trust is going to go a long way for you, Leo, this month. Okay. Let's pick a overarching theme for you this month, Leo. What is Leo's overarching theme? What should Leo focus on this month or November for Leo? What's the theme for Leo this month? Emerging, yeah. I am emerging into the light with joy and ease. And they're actually asking me to read the message here from the book. Let's see here. Emerging. Just as a new sprout pushes through the soil into the light, you are emerging. Ideas and things that have been incubating within you for a long time are now moving towards manifestation. Your soul wants you to know this is an exciting time for you, truly a period of new beginnings. Things for which you've been patiently waiting for a long time are about to manifest. A new seedling is most vulnerable. However, just as it emerges through the earth, it needs to be nourished and protected until it's strong enough to weather harsh climates. So you must take care to nurture your dreams and yourself in this tender time. Rest, eat well, drink plenty of water, and take healing baths. Get ready. A new joyous path awaits you. How amazing is that? I love that message. So it's so uplifting and positive and encouraging. So yeah, I think that, and that kind of brings me back to the message that I heard earlier, where if we kind of force something before it's time, it's not going to be what the beautiful gift that Spirit wants to give us in that in the way that it needs to happen. So just kind of let things play out the way they need to. And I think, honestly, I almost want to say it for every sign. I think probably the best thing we can do for ourselves this month is to take care of ourselves and stay in the moment, stay grounded, because it almost kind of feels like right now, staying in the moment is almost one of the hardest things to do, is what it kind of feels like. So I think that if that's going to be, a challenge for a lot of us, is to just trust that Spirit's got this. Let's do 2 more guidance cards here. Why? Interesting. Some of you may be just questioning why things are happening in the way that they're happening. Like kind of really curious about why it's shifting in this direction. You also might be reflecting back on the past and kind of asking yourself why you chose certain things, or why there were certain actions taken. It's almost like there's this introspection that's going on with you here. I'm also seeing a chessboard, like playing chess, trying to methodically do the right maneuvers. Some of you may be also kind of searching for answers, is what I'm seeing. You may be kind of like researching, listening to a lot of, the tarot and oracle card readings online. And some of you may be reading books, listening to like lectures or, anything. So there's a lot of curiosity in kind of what's happening around us right now, because I think you can feel that there's this major shift and change happening around the world, just with everybody. I mean, it's just, there's so much changing. So it's almost like you're going into kind of detective mode, and you are just wanting to know what's happening, what's going on, and what do I need to do in order to prepare for the change. So yeah, I think that you may be also spending this month in kind of delving and spending maybe some of your free time when you're not, working or with family or doing other things. You may be kind of spending a little bit of your free time in really researching and looking up some of the spiritual aspects of what's happening around. It felt spiritual, so it didn't feel like you're interested in, like a different subject or something. It felt like there was this curiosity towards just on a collective scale, like what's going on with us, what's happening and what's coming. So you may be spending some time there and researching that this month as well, and that may catch your interest. So some of you may also find someone online, what I'm seeing, or like a specific author or someone like a teacher, like maybe like a spiritual teacher or guru, where you really resonate with. And you may find that you have like a guide, or like a mentor that will help you to find answers for yourself or help you kind of figure some things out for yourself. So some of you may be really drawn to that or find some kind of connection there on that level. Like you may not directly talk to them, but just, just being really drawn in by the things that they say, or, maybe reading a book, or I'm kind of seeing that for some of you. So I forgot to grab the angel card. So let me just grab those real quick because they're reminding me to pull an angel card for you as well, Leo. So just give me 2 seconds here. I knew I felt like I was missing something. Thank you guys for reminding me. Angels. Okay. I'm going to pick one more guidance card, and then we'll pick a angel card for you as well. Angels are really present this month. I think it's a very blessed month. There's something very special about this month, because there's so much there's a lot of transformation happening this month. Okay, one more guidance card for beautiful. I love that. Trust. Yes, absolutely. So trust, patience, and trust. Really important this month. And also trust that you're protected. Trust that you're safe. That you have protection all around you. And that even if things feel like you're really just on your own and you have no idea what you're going to do or how things are going to form, there is a urge to really connect with the divine and connect with your higher self. Connect with that part of you that knows what lies ahead. Connect with that part of you that's detached from the worries and the stress and the anxiety. Because when we connect from that place, we can see things from a different perspective, and we can, it helps us to let go of the need to, because sometimes we control just out of fear, because we're scared. We don't know what's going to happen. We're trying to find some safety. And so if we can kind of know or feel the sense that everything is going to be okay, even though I don't know the path ahead, but I just know that I'm going to be fine because I'm being guided and I'm strongly listening to my intuition, then that trust and that connection to your higher self is going to really carry you through the changes here. And then we have hunger here as well. So what I'm hearing is, don't let people take you off course. Be very dedicated to what you want for yourself in the future. So there's like this big energy towards manifesting and also claiming for yourself what you believe you're worth and what you believe you deserve in life. And make it big, make it bold, make it loud. Be hungry for that and don't hold back, is what I'm hearing. Like, make it known. This is who I am. This is what I want. This is what I want to manifest. And so it is. right? And so it is. So that's kind of the energy that we can put forward into our manifestations going forward here on this path. It's really beautiful. Okay, let's do an angel card here for Leo for November 2021. What do the angels have to say for Leo for the month of November 2021? What do the angels have to say for Leo for the month of November 2021? Okay, we have 2 cards here. Oh, beautiful. So you have divine guidance. Yes. So listening to that inner voice, listening to the guidance that comes in through you. And I kind of feel like there will be just these moments where there's just this channeling that kind of starts to pour through you, and things become more and more clear as time goes on. And then spending time in nature will really help to clear your energy. It will help you to reset your energy. So if you can find time to spend in nature, I'm also seeing, it doesn't even have to be like, if you live in a big city and there's no nature around you or anything like that, just kind of connecting with elements of nature. So maybe bringing in some fresh flowers in your home, even spending some time in like a healing bath. So if you have like a bathtub, even if you don't, just kind of taking, maybe just like, they're showing me like finding ways to kind of connect. So like maybe filling up I'm seeing a copper, like a really beautiful copper basin with water and like flowers, like dried flowers and salt, and just kind of doing those kind of rituals that will help you to clear and cleanse your energy and help you reconnect with the natural world, because that's where we can really connect with that more authentic spiritual part of us. It will kind of, I'm hearing the word sanctity. So it's almost like sanctifying our presence, our energy, our aura. And that will help to clear out any energies that don't need to be there. So energy clearing seems to be really big this month for you as well, Leo. To really like, almost kind of feel like there's just been so many people around or so many just different things happening and a lot of stuff coming out because we're also purging a lot. I feel like the heart chakra is just on like fire right now. It's just, everyone's just purging out the heart chakra. So I think that being able to regularly clear and cleanse is going to help kind of ground the energy and help you to kind of move forward in a more relaxed and peaceful way. So that is your reading for November. I hope that was helpful and it serves some kind of guidance for how to navigate this month ahead, Leo. And thank you so much for tuning in. If the video resonated with you, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's really helpful for the channel and helps it to grow as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you for next month. Bye, Leo.